Hello everyone. I hope so you will be fine. My name is Dr. Abid and I welcome to all of you in GSS course. As you know that I teach environment and ecology in GSS course. And every day I am giving you to all of you a special message regarding the man's answer writing. This is the wonderful initiative started by the GSS course to give the basic idea about the questions. This is the most important thing to understand the depth and concept of the question. In this session, we are continuously providing the how to understand the question and how to break down the important points in the question. And we have discussed so many topics, specifically PYQs. Today, we have a very special topic from GS paper 3rd, Environment and Ecology, Coastal Sand Mining. You know that the number of important issues are news. This is one of them. Still, this is one of them. So basically, a question is coming from the different kind of issues. So first of all, we have to understand that we should have a basic understanding of the issues. That's why to work on the academic side, and on the other hand, we have to work on the current affair. You know that current affair plays a very, very important role because the question has been changed and adopting the face of the conceptuality and the current affair. And in the last, you will find over there, the question is also demanding the analytical side. Means you have to present the suggestions and solutions. You know that the whole earth is full of the issues. Every day a new issue is emerging and we have to understand the face of the issues. That's why we are here to discuss the how to understand the concept, behind concept of the question. I'm not here to give you a motivation lecture. This is not my job. I'm here to give you just only to find out the solution and find out the concept behind the question. Getting my point? Start करें? चलिए, ठीक है. So this is the question. Coastal sand mining, whether legal or illegal, poses one of the biggest threats to our environment. Analyze the impact of sand mining along the Indian coast, citing specific examples. The question is saying that this activity, coastal sand mining, whether legal or illegal, poses one of the biggest threat to our environment. Is indicating toward biggest threat, not threat, biggest threat. Again, in the second line, he's focusing on analyze the impact. You know that impact of sand mining along Indian coast, citing specific examples. You know that they're talking about the examples or case studies. As we know that India has more than 7,500 coastline, 500 kilometer coastline. बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है ये coastline का. And almost 9 states and almost 2 UTs, more than 2 UTs are making the coastal boundaries. And as we know that mountains, hills, plateaus, plains, and specifically coastal areas or islands. These are the physical features of India. Getting the points? These are the physical features of India. So now we have to understand this is the problem of the many states from Kolkata to Gujarat, specifically from Utkal coast, Uttari Sarkar coast, Coromandel coast, and Malabar coast, Konkan coast. Each and every coast have a different kind of issues, but they have a very same threat. ये हमें समझना है. Now let's understand the concept. This is the concept. You know that whenever they are talking about the threat, so यहाँ पर basic understanding ये है that we have to understand that talking about environmental sustainability. Getting the points? Because environmental sustainability is a highly most discussed topic in the world, because we have to stabilize the environment. That was the reason we are working on to protect the forest, to protect the tribes, to protect the species, flora and fauna. That's why we are taking the most important steps, like a national park, wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves. These all are the important part, and coastal regulation zone. You know that one of the most important thing. I think coastal regulation zone 2011 was the one of the most important thing. Next, we will find out ecological fragility of coastal zones. Yes, recently we discussed about the national park, wildlife sanctuary, biodiversity, Nikkei, habitat और keystone species. ये सारी की सारी चीजें बहुत important हो जाती हैं. Next, governance and regulation, because we have to give examples through the policies, schemes, treaties, summits. यहाँ पर आ जाता है that whenever you will talking about legal or illegal, means you have to connect this question with government policies or schemes. ये सबसे important part है हमारे system का weak enforcement of law and weak political will. And we have to discuss loopholes and conflict between economic interest and environmental conservation. You know that one of the most important thing. Next one, another important thing is that human environment conflict. One of the most important thing. Yes, you can give so many examples from the Mumbai to the Kolkata. Climate change and resilience. Yes, climate change become one of the most discussed topic. That was the reason we are continuously saying that we have to adopt climate change resilient policies for their urbanization, cities, transportation network, and agriculture. That's why we have to save our nature. Okay, these are the biggest threat. And in the last one, case-based environmental awareness. Yes, we have to give so many examples from the Mumbai, from Marmugao. These all are the important things, and you can also add the Kochi. And recently, number of important issues are news regarding the sand mafia. है ना, ये भी आप add कर सकते हैं. Now let's talk about the answer. This is the model answer which we have to follow, and as you know that whenever we talk about the answer, so we have to start our answer from the introduction, then we have to go toward the body or main body, and the final way we have to move toward the way forward or conclusion. So we have to remember that if the question are from the 10 marks, so we have to finish our question around 150 word in a better structure, and the question is on almost 15 marks, so we have to write almost 250 words, and we have to finish our question around the 250 words with a better suggestion and solutions. Getting my points? But I am giving you a comprehensive answer which you have to attempt, and which you have to reduce the number of words. This is the introduction, and you will find out there. ठीक है, क्या हमने इसमें कहा है? देखो, sand is the second most consumed natural resource globally after water. And in the last one, ठीक है, almost we discussed the importance, and the second line we discussed the coastline kilometer. Okay, and next one, second, act as a natural barrier against the coastal erosion, support marine biodiversity. This is the another importance of sand. And you know that rampant sand mining, both legal or illegal, has emerged as a serious threat to coastal ecosystem, often driven by the booming construction and infrastructure sectors. This has led to significant socio-economic consequences, and you will find out there these are almost 5 lines in the question, in the introduction. Getting my points? These almost are 5 lines, and we discuss the most important thing in the introduction: their importance, their threats, and their uses, and the biggest threat related to the environments. I completely avoided the extreme views. I completely avoided the rubbish things. I completely avoided the unnecessary words. And you have to understand that you have to avoid the unnecessary words. And you have to select the important words which will provide you the maximum marks. Now let's move toward the man body. In man body, you will find out there I started my answer from the environmental impact of coastal sand mining. And here the most important thing we discussed, number one, the coastal erosion and land loss. Okay, so I gave an example from the Kerala side. Excessive sand mining from the rivers, beaches has caused severe coastal retreat, particularly in Alappuzha and Kollam district. I mentioned. And you will find out there, the sand mining destabilized the shoreline, leading to accelerate erosion and submergence of land. And discuss the coastal erosion. I mentioned an example with the great words. Next one, loss of biodiversity in habitat destructions. You know that when it will occur, definitely biodiversity ka loss hoga, habitat destruction hoga, there is no doubt. So now I discussed and started from the beach, sand dunes, adjacent wetlands provide critical habitat for various species if it is happening. Okay? So you will find out there beaches, sand dunes and wetlands will suffer. If they will suffer, definitely this process will take place. There is no doubt. And last one, I added some examples from the Odisha side. You know that olive-reeded turtle is one of the most important news, frequently is in news. Destruction of habitat, loss of biodiversity is a part of due to illegal sand mining. Next one, salinization of groundwater. I added the salinization of groundwater. You will find out there, removing beach sand allows seawater intrusion into freshwater aquifer, damaging soil fertility and affecting drinking water sources. I added the example from the Tamil Nadu, such as Kanchipuram and Villupuram have a reported increase salinity due to rampant sand mining. So you will find out there, I mentioned three important things: coastal erosion, loss of biodiversity and salinization. And you will notice over there, I write the three different states examples: Kerala, Odisha and Tamil Nadu. Next one, disruption of natural sediment flow. You know that sediment flow is a part of the nature or rock cycle, and you will find out there mining interfere with the longshore sediment drift, leading to sediment starvation downstream and weakening of natural coastal defense. Another, I take example from the Andhra Pradesh coast. And next one, you will find out the climate vulnerability. So I added an example from the West Bengal Sundarban. Sand act as a buffer against extreme weather event, depletion, increased exposure to cyclone, etc. These all are the basic impact of the coal या sand या कह सकते हैं ना coastal sand mining. So I mentioned the 5 examples from the 5 states. Next one, I discuss the governance and regulatory challenges. You know that. In the previous slides, I discussed the 5 states, 5 examples. You can take on just 2 or 3 examples in your answer writing, during the mains answer writing. Legal loopholes and poor enforcement. देखो यहाँ मैंने बेसिक चीजें लिखी हैं जो हर बच्चा जानता है, ठीक है, जस्ट उसको अपने आप को जानने और पहचानने की जरूरत है. Legal loopholes and poor enforcement. Many sand mining leases are issued without through environmental impact assessment. Illegal operation flourish due to weak monitoring. You know that I mentioned the environmental impact assessment. Environmental impact assessment, one of the most important thing. And in the last year, you will find out the question from the environmental impact assessments. So ये मैंने start किया that हाँ ये हो रहा है without through the environmental impact assessments, the projects are being given to their natives. ऐसे तो होते नहीं था. Sand mafia and violence. It states like UP, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra is often controlled by powerful criminal networks. I added. Lack of data and transparency. Yes, I added another important thing which is very, very important from the governance and regulatory challenges. I mentioned the way forward. What are the ways we have to add it? देखो, simple सी बात है. Each and every knows about the way forwards. You can take the best solutions. थोड़ा confidence वाला हो गया ना कि हर कोई जानता है. But this is the wonderful thing that if we are talking about the way forward, so strict enforcement of coastal regulations, zone norms and EIA regulation होना चाहिए भाई. You have to do. Next one, promotion of sustainable alternatives, community participation, vigilance, national coastal mission and sediment budgeting, judicial oversight and policy reforms. These all are the important tools in way forward. Now let's move toward the conclusions. I have to finish my answer with some important words. Coastal sand mining is a salient but severe threat to India's. I repeated the line from the question side. It can undermine the very natural system, provides resilient against climate change. And I took this line from the man body. A balance between development need and ecological sustainability is urgently needed through the robust policy, technology, community engagement, and political will. In the last one, I provided some suggestions to the question. ये कर लो भाई, ये हो जाएगा. Getting my points? So overall, I finished my answer with suggestions. Now here these are all the probable questions you can attempt. These all questions, and you can submit the answers in given below link. So this is enough from this side. I hope so you will like this video and subscribe, share, comment. कुछ और भी होता है क्या? जो भी होता है ना भाई, सब कुछ कर देना, ठीक है? लाइक भी करो, कमेंट भी करो, शेयर भी करो, दोस्तों को शेयर करो, जिसको जरूरत है उसको शेयर करो. Getting my points? So this is enough from this side. See you soon with new topic. Take care.